The control image function will allow us to swap out images within our scene. So if we're using Vizrt Trio, Vizrt Content Pilot, or Vizrt Template Wizard, we can use this control image to help us swap out images. So we can use this control image function to swap out images. And the way this works is that we drop it onto a container that has an image. So let's go back into a primitive here, and we'll just use a Nagi here as an example. And we'll just scale this up. And we're going to go back into our server, grab some type of image here to drop onto the Nagi. And we have a picture of a bridge here, so we'll just use this. Mapping not hugely important, but we'll just change it to vertex for now. So I want to go back into my built-ins tab, into my control folder, and get ready to grab this control image onto this container. But before I do that, I want to group this so that my image container has a topmost group. Now I'm going to grab my control image function, drag it onto this container. And again, when we did that, it automatically added this control object function. So I'm going to go into my control image editor here. And again, field identifier, it's our first image that we want to change. I'm going to leave it at 1. Description, I can leave it at Nagi. I can type in whatever I want. So we have options here to allow them control. We can give them image position control. If we turn that on, it will allow them to manipulate the position of it. If we give them scaling control, it will allow them to scale the image up and down. There's also deny browsing upwards. It's off by default. If this is on, they will no longer be able to navigate to certain folders and search for a new image. Now we also have this image location prefix, so if there's a particular folder you always want them to navigate to, you can type this folder location into here. There's an input value. When we hit refresh, it's going to populate this input value and tell you what picture is actually being used. So again, we can save this and we'll say this is our control image function. I'll hit OK, and when we go into Trio, we'll see how this works. Okay, so I'm in Trio here. I imported my scene, and within my scene, the first thing I have here in the tab field is it tells us the field identifier 1 and the Nagi. This was the description that we gave it. So I come down into my controls here, and the one thing that we can do with this control image is swap out an image. So if I wanted to change this image from the bridge to a highway, we could change that just by double clicking on any type of image within our image folders. Also, we gave it some additional scales here, such as position. So if I wanted to reposition this image left or right or up and down, I can use these image position controls to do that. We also gave them an image scaling. So now as we adjust our scaling parameters, you can see that it gives them the ability. Within the scaling parameters, we also have an ability here to give them single, locked, or proportional.